What I'm going to do in this video is a quick response to Waduha from the Answering Christianity room, who brought this argument to me a while back, and I haven't had a chance to address it. She made the claim that Paul was a false prophet due to the fact he was in the desert, and she based it off Matthew 24 verses 22 to 26, or something like that. This is what the text says. This is what Acts 9 says about Paul. Meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples. He went out to the high priest and asked him for letters to the synagogues in Damascus, if so that he found any there who belonged to the way, whether men or women, he might take them as prisoners to Jerusalem. He gathered them. As he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Saul asked. "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting," he replied. "Now get up and go to the city, and you will be told what you must do." Then she points to Matthew, or one of the things I can't remember the exact order she did it, but Waduha pointed at one point to Matthew 24, where it says the following, in verse 22 to 26. "If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive, but for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, 'Look, here is the Messiah,' or 'There he is,' do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, 'There he is out in the wilderness,' do not go out. Or 'Here he is in the inner rooms,' do not believe it." And she was trying to say that since Paul met Jesus out in the desert, he is a false prophet. That was her claim. First of all, when you read the passages carefully, there is no comparison between what Jesus is saying here in Matthew 24 to Paul being out in the desert speaking to Jesus. Because Paul is not telling us to go out into the desert and say, "See, I met Jesus in the desert. Go to the desert. He's still there. Go meet him in the desert." Paul was not even doing that. In fact, a modern-day version of what Jesus said in Matthew 24 would be Benny Hinn, who falsely claimed that Jesus would appear with him on stage. And obviously that did not happen. That was a con artistry from Benny Hinn. But Paul did not do that. He did not say, "Jesus is out in the wilderness, go there." He didn't do that at all. And to point a fact, in the very next section of Acts 9, in verses 10 to 16, Ananias is sent by Jesus to Paul to anoint him. That's the thing. There is no comparison between what Jesus said in Matthew 24 or what happened to Saul in Acts 9. There is no comparison. In fact, the context of Acts 9 shows Jesus wanted Paul as part of his ministry. Read Acts 9 verses 10 to 16, which it says the following. "In Damascus there was a disciple named Ananias. The Lord called to him in a vision. 'Ananias.' 'Yes, Lord,' he answered. The Lord told him, 'Go to the house of Judas on Straight Street and ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul, for he is praying. In a vision he has seen a man named Ananias come and place his hands on him to restore his sight.' 'Lord,' Ananias answered, 'I have heard many reports about this man and all the harm he's done to your holy people in Jerusalem. And he has come here with authority from the chief priest to arrest all who call on your name.' But the Lord said to Ananias, 'Go, this man is my chosen instrument to proclaim my name to the Gentiles and their kings and to the people of Israel. I will show him how much he must suffer for my name.'" So clearly, even in the context, Jesus is approving of having Paul converted and doing his will. So we have Jesus' own approval here, speaking to Ananias. Now, whether you Muslims accept that or not, that's between you and God. But, as I've demonstrated in this video, there is no comparison between what happened to Paul in the desert and what Jesus is warning about. No comparison whatsoever, just simply a misconstruing of the context. That's all. A strange argument indeed to address, but it's a necessary one to address. especially Muslim attitudes towards Paul and their vehement hatred of Paul for supposedly corrupting Christianity. Even though there's don't know where they get that idea from, but there you go. Hope this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching.